Hello, everybody. Today, I want to talk a bit about anticipatory anxiety and tell you a story that happened yesterday. I think a lot of other people with panic attacks, anxiety, tends to kind of be around worrying about something that might happen. It's not necessarily in the moment feeling anxious. It's the worry about feeling anxious. Every Tuesday, I pick my goddaughter up from school. She's in primary 1. She's 5 years old. So this is her first year in school. I used to pick her up from nursery sometimes when she was younger, and I've looked after her before. But for some reason, the anxiety around picking her up is still very much there for me. It's not been too long, maybe like a couple of months that I've been doing it. There's many reasons why this anxiety happens every week. And I think one of the big reasons is because she is a child. And I'm sure there's people that are watching that have looked after children and know they're vulnerable and they can't look after themselves. And she's very little. And so I'm not used to being in the role of the person that cannot leave if they want to. Obviously, I can leave when I have my goddaughter, but I can't just leave before I've picked her up. I can't just, suddenly start running and not have her with me. Also, children obviously don't always want to do certain things. So if I said, let's go now, she might not understand why we're going so quickly. She might not want to go so quickly. She has her own free will, which is a good thing, obviously, but sometimes difficult when you have anxiety. So yesterday, I was sitting in the house and I was thinking about going to the playground, and I was so anxious about it. All day I was thinking, in fact, I even text somebody else to see if they could pick her up, because I was just like, I feel so ill. Anxiety actually makes me feel nauseous. It makes me feel just horrible. And the whole day I was just thinking about it. All day I was thinking about, what if I'm in the playground and I suddenly have a panic attack and I need to run? Or what if I'm halfway through walking her home, so I have her in my care and I suddenly need to leave, and, she is left abandoned by herself. And it's just I'm imagining all the very worst case scenarios that could happen. So yesterday, I all day long was feeling so anxious. And then honestly, as soon as I left the house to go pick her up, I felt pretty much okay. I waited in the playground. That's often the worst part. Waiting in general, I find really difficult with anxiety. I've also been trying to get on the bus more. And yesterday I went on the bus after she had gone home, and I'm standing waiting at the bus stop, and I was to come home, and I was like, oh my God, when's this bus coming? And the bus kept coming and it wasn't my bus. I was standing there, and that's when the anxiety tends to rise for me, when I'm waiting. I guess because it feels like you're in less control, because you can't hurry the process along of waiting for a child to come out of school or waiting for a bus to come. There's nothing you can do in that situation except stand there and wait. But anyway, I picked her up, took her to the library, we got hot chocolate, she came back to my house, we had some soup. It was all very fine. And it just goes to show, as much as it feels so horrific in the moment, in fact, all day today I've been feeling anxious about what I can't do, anticipatory anxiety about doing things that I've not even planned to do yet. And it's so frustrating. Thought of things are always so much worse. I'm sure you watching has a story about a time where you felt so anxious and it actually wasn't nearly as bad as you thought it was. The bad things that you were really worried about didn't happen. Or if they did happen, you managed to cope with it. Obviously, I also have stories where anxiety was too much and I found it really difficult and it didn't go according to plan. But I think I have more stories about when it did work and when I didn't panic, and if I did panic, I managed to keep it chilled. If you are feeling really anxious about a certain event, about something coming up, about getting on the bus, about picking a child up from school, about getting on a plane, whatever it might be, I'm very far away from getting to that level, but whatever it might be, the thought of these things is often so much worse. We can think of all of the absolute worst case scenarios that could possibly happen, things that might not even really be that possible. I think about cars breaking down. I think about having a panic attack in a place where I can't get out. I think about, what if my headphones break and I don't have music to calm me down? What if just all these things that could possibly happen? that very rarely do. And if they do, who manage to survive it. So yeah, I would love to hear if you are somebody that ever picks a child up from school, if you ever feel anxious about that or have children in your care, people that rely on you. I find that really hard because I feel like, why are people relying on me? I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you for watching this video. Please let me know if you experience anticipatory anxiety. If you would like to be involved in anxiety chats, then also let us know in the description box. There's lots of information about how you can get involved. And thanks for watching. Bye.